Welcome back, fellow explorers. This time, we find ourselves standing in front of an old and grand theatre, its marquee long faded, its ticket booth overgrown with ivy. In our hands, a tattered playbill from 1888 hints at secret passages beneath the stage. Legends say this theatre is haunted by the restless spirits of those who met their demise within its four walls. But some say the phantoms linger here not out of fear, but because they're waiting for someone to put on a show. And so the daring among you set off into the forgotten theatre, determined to uncover the truth. Armed with nothing but a flashlight and a thirst for adventure, you make your way inside. Moonlight streams through the broken stained glass windows high above, casting eerie shadows on the proscenium arch. As you walk further into the theatre, you notice faded murals of mythical creatures on the walls, their gazes seeming to follow your every move. The velvet seats are covered in dust, and the once vibrant colours have muted to the point of near invisibility. Still, there's a strange energy here, as if the theatre is holding its breath, waiting for the moment to reveal its secrets. On the wall beside the stage, you see a collection of old posters, their peeling paint revealing cryptic messages scrawled behind. One poster seems to be advertising an upcoming production of Hamlet. You pull it away from the wall to reveal a small, dusty opening. Reaching inside, you feel around in the dark and pull out a key. The air grows colder as you continue exploring the theatre. In one of the dressing rooms, you come across a full-length mirror, its surface clouded with age and grime, and scrawled across the bottom in what looks like lipstick, you see the following riddle. Where laughter echoed, seek the faces long gone, and turn the crank until the music has played its song. What do you think this clue means? As you look around the room, you notice an old gramophone in the corner. Could the answer have something to do with this? Carefully placing the key in the keyhole, you wind up the gramophone and place the horn against your ear. A faint melody drifts out, and it occurs to you that the notes of the tune spell out a word. Reaching for the mirror again, you realize the answer to the riddle lies in the positioning of the clock above the mirror. It reads, "Turn the crank until the music has played its song." In other words, you need to adjust the clock hands until the time shown matches the notes of the song. Slowly, you rotate the clock hands until they align perfectly. With the notes spelled out by the gramophone, as you move the hands past the 12, a mechanism clicks into place behind the mirror, and you see a small velvet pouch drop into the opening. Inside, you find an ornate key, its intricate design hinting at a time when craftsmanship was everything. You return to the entrance hall and notice an elaborately carved wooden box set into the wall. Upon closer inspection, you see a series of levers branching out from a central point, each corresponding to a different part of the stage. At the far end, you notice a barely ajar trap door, as if inviting you to take a peek inside the orchestra pit below. Peeking through the opening, you see a faded musical staff resting on the floor. Could there be another clue down here? Carefully descending the ladder into the orchestra pit, you realize the musical staff forms the first half of a much larger score. As you examine the staff, you notice the 5 lines and 4 spaces are missing something. At first you think it's a treble clef, but upon closer inspection, you realize the missing component is actually a series of whole and half notes. These notes form a pattern that leads you to the next clue. Looking up at the levers, you remember the musical notes from the staff and realize the solution involves arranging the levers according to the pattern you found in the orchestra pit. With a deep breath, you begin moving the levers into position, beginning with the lowest note, E-flat, then D, C, B, and finally G. As the last lever clicks into place, you hear a loud click from above. Startled, you look up just in time to see the trapdoor disappear into view. But the change doesn't stop there. Suddenly, the box springs open, revealing a stack of yellowed papers tied together with a faded blue ribbon. Unraveling the ribbon, you carefully separate the brittle pages, revealing a handwritten script bound for the theatre's greatest performance. But wait, as you read through the script, you notice something strange. The play was never finished. It ends abruptly, in the middle of a sentence, as if the author simply stopped writing one day and never came back. Could the scandal mentioned in the newspaper clippings have something to do with the missing pages of the script? And if so, what was the show about? Was it a love story, a tragedy, or perhaps a comedy? As you stand in the silent theatre, you can't help but wonder what secrets lie hidden in the walls around you. Did the actors really disappear? Or are they still here performing for an audience of one? Or maybe you are not alone in this abandoned theatre. You hear the faint sound of applause echoing through the empty hall. What do you think this could mean? Is the theatre truly abandoned, or is there a final act yet to unfold? Thank you for joining me on this adventure. If you enjoyed the exploration, don't forget to stay tuned for more urban explorations. Until then, stay safe out there.